Hello, welcome to the Constitutional Drug Series once again. This is Dr. Gayatri, BHMS and REBT counselor. Today we are going to discuss Natrum muriaticum. So, Natrum mur physical appearance. How to identify Natrum mur personality. She is very beautiful. She is thin mostly, thin, skinny, greasy, waxy face, oily face, full of lips, short, fleshy nose, bloated appearance to face some of. As you can see here, it is written fleshy face, smallish eyes, perfect face, and perfect complexion. Full lips, very thin lips, very obese natrum is rarely seen, but yeah, we can see. And mostly it is medium to average build, mostly thin. Acne present. There has to be complaint of hair fall and dandruff. That is one more keynote. She is very much intelligent, like phosphorus and silicea. High forehead of intellectual natrum, often with balding. Intellectual lycopodiums are usually have a narrower face and they are predominantly male lycopodium personalities. Fixed smile, large hips in women, heavily built men. All complexions are seen, but dark complexions are most common. The constitution is seen slightly more often in women than in men due to large number of men who are lycopodium. So, इथे आपण इन शॉर्ट डिस्क्राईब करू शकतो नॅट्रम्यूर पर्सनॅलिटी वुमन म्हणजे ती खूप सुंदर असते, एकदम परफेक्ट लुक, डिग्निफाइड फीमेल. शी हैज़ हर ओन थॉट्स, उसके अपने थॉट प्रोसेस होते हैं, इंडिपेंडेंट एंड पर्टिकुलर इन हर वर्क, वेरी मच पर्टिकुलर इन हर वर्क, हाइजीन ओरिएंटेड, long hairs. So you can give 10 on 10 marks on looks. And also she is very intelligent, as I said that she is very particular in her work, she is very sincere. So there are 2-3 remedies. We can say they are sincere, they are intellectual, and in that category comes natrum mur, phosphorus, silicea, staphysagria. But yes, natrum mur is very much sincere, obedient. जो पेरेंट्स का अच्छा बच्चा होता है बचपन में, वो है नैट्रम म्यूर चाइल्ड. और उसी प्रेशर की वजह से कभी कभी वो सप्रेस्ड और रिजर्व भी रह सकती है. सो फिलिप बेली ऑलमोस्ट हैज़ 15 to 20 pages if you go through this book. He has mentioned all the things in detail and various shades of natrum mur. She is very reserved, introvert kind of. She will talk very specific things. She will not open up in first case taking. But yeah, you get to identify natrum mur easily क्योंकि वो बहुत ब्यूटीफुल, डिग्निटी प्रेफर्ड एंड बहुत कम बात करेगी, रिजर्व्ड, ऐसी काइंड ऑफ है. सो वो आपको फर्स्ट मीटिंग में पता चल सकता है उसके अपीयरेंस, उसके बिहेवियर और उसके बात करने के तरीके से. ऑल्सो एज आई मैंशनड, शी इज़ वेरी मच हाइजीन ओरिएंटेड एंड ऑल्सो embarrassment. So she will not go to urination in other places. Like she will prefer to go it in private rather than in public spaces. Even if she is with her friends or family or other relatives places, she will not go there. She will avoid to go. The reason being hygiene issue or embarrassment. These are two main reasons for that. Disappointment in love and grudge, these also are keynotes. Please note, disappointment in love and grudge, ये दोनों और बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट की नोट है. ग्रज वो रखती है, कोई किसी ने अगर किसी को बोल दिया उसको, तो वो मन में रखेगी, वो छोड़ेगी नहीं बात को. वो गुस्सा भी उसका शांत रहता है, वो इमीडिएटली एक्सप्रेस नहीं करती, बाद में वो पाइल्ड अप होके फिर वो निकलता है बाहर. बट येस, डिसअपॉइंटमेंट इन लव एंड ग्रज रखना, ये 2 इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ें हैं नाइट्रम म्यूरेटिकम की. थर्स्टी एंड suffers from constipation. These symptoms belong to physical generals, and Natrum is usually chilly patient. She has aversion to sympathy also. She can't cry in front of others. She will cry alone, as she is introvert. She like to be alone, left alone. There is also tendency to grief and depression because of disappointment in love, and many other reasons can be present. She also has intellectual pride, panic attacks. You can see here a list of characteristic symptoms which already I have mentioned. She can be sarcastic at times. Also, she is diplomat with a great sense of humor. Natrum muriaticum personalities are usually toppers, we can say, like Phosphorus Cilicia. They are sincere in their studies, so they have their position as a toppers. And also some Natrum female may mostly they choose a profession like nurses, counselors, or NGO workers. So these are mostly natromuriaticum personality types. Now we'll go to boric part, first paragraph. The prolonged taking of excessive salt causes profound nutritive changes to take place in the system, and there arise not only the symptoms of salt retention as evidenced by dropsies and edemas, but also alternation of blood causing condition of anemia. Yes, it can be given for anemia. There seems also to be retention in the tissues of effect materials, giving rise to the symptoms loosely described as gouty or rheumatic gout. The provings are full of such symptoms. Dr. Stoneham have mentioned this. A great remedy for certain forms of intermittent fever, anemia, chlorosis, and many disturbances of GIT and skin, great debility. There is one symptom, losing flesh while living well, and there is great weakness. So there is great debility. Most weakness is felt in the morning in bed. Coldness, emaciation, most notable in neck. Yes, one more physical finding of Natrum is she has long neck, so you can identify easily. Great liability to take cold, dry mucous membrane, constrictive sensation throughout the body, great weakness, weariness, hyperthyroidism, even we can give it for hypothyroidism, goiter, Addison's disease, diabetes. These are some of the clinicals. Natrum muriaticum is usually given for migraine, most prominently given for migraine, and we give it as a constitutional and usually chronic drug, and not in acute complaints like upper respiratory tract or viral fever. Rarely we give it, as we mostly use pulsatilla, aconite, belladonna, and so on, but Natrum muriaticum can be given for chronic complaints. So here is the main differentiation between Natrum muriaticum and pulsatilla. It is very basic. Natrum mur averts consolation, pulsatilla desires consolation. Pulsatilla is thirstless, Natrum mur is very much thirsty and also suffers from constipation. Pulsatilla is very much loquacious, Natrum mur speaks to the point, very much specific points she will speak. Pulsatilla patient is chilly but still desires open air. Natrum is also chilly, but she gets affected with cold air a little. So as compared to pulsatilla, she will not desire that much open air. And physical appearance wise, Natrum is very much beautiful. She may be tall, skinny, waxy skin, oily skin a little bit, and beautiful looks, long hairs, and mostly thin, whereas pulsatilla is obese, towards obese, fat distribution to the hip and abdomen. Both can be fair, both can be dark, but mostly both are fair. Natrum is very much intelligent as compared to pulsatilla. So here is the short comparison. Now I'll go step by step. Mind, as I said, there is psychic cause of disease, depressed, particularly in chronic disease, consolation aggravates, irritability, she is very much irritable, gets into passion about trifles, awkward and hasty, she drops the things if she is handling something in hands, wants to be alone to cry, tears with laughter. She will not cry even if she is telling her symptoms. वो बोलते हैं ना कि आँखों में आंसू आते हैं बट गिरते नहीं हैं. So that kind of personality is Natrum. Tears with laughter. There is smile with tears. She is precocious. Precocious means mature, like phosphorus, but phosphorus is more mature as compared to Natrum. But she will not at all cry. Like for example, if अगर किसी लड़की के फादर भी गुज़र गए हैं और अगर वो आपको बता रही है, सो शी विल नॉट क्राई. पल्सेटिला विल इमीडिएटली क्राई, बट वो बताने के टाइम पे वो हंसते हंसते बताएगी या फिर उसके आँखों में आंसू होंगे बट वो रोएगी नहीं. दैट काइंड ऑफ पर्सनालिटी इज़ नाइट्रोम्यूरेटिका. पल्सेटिला तो इमीडिएटली ही रो देगी. सो दिस इज़ अ थिन डिफरेंस. हेडेक usually given for migraine, throbbing, hammering kind of from sunrise to sunset. Sunrise to sunset modality usually matches in all the complaints as it is a common modality. There is nausea, vomiting, pale face because of anemia, it can be. Periodical headaches are there from eye strain or overwork or menstruation related. It can be before menses too. Then before attack, numbness and tingling in the lips, tongue and nose relieved by all the complaints are relieved by sleep. Frontal sinus inflammation. Eye complaints, along with headache, there can be eye complaints gradually. There is zigzag appearance. The vision can become little blur. Lids are swollen. There is lacrimation. Stricture of the lacrimal duct with suppuration. This is again a pathological symptom. Asthenopia due to insufficiency of internal recti muscles. One more drug is there, gelsemium. And cuprum aceticum when due to external muscles. Pain in eyes when looking down. It can be given for cataract in early stage, but we don't recommend so because it needs operative procedure for cataract. Ears, noises and ringing sound, that is tinnitus, we can get in Natrum. Nose, violent fluent coryza. The discharges are thin like watery raw white of egg. Even leucorrhea is like same white of egg, burning acrid. So similarly here the discharges of nose are present. Infallible for stopping a cold commencing with sneezing. Loss of smell and taste. So anosmia is there, loss of taste is also there. Face is oily and shiny as if greased. Earlier we have discussed that. Earthy complexion. Fever blisters. Yes, this is another important symptom. Fever blisters around the mouth. Cracked lips can be present. Tongue is usually like a ringworm, or you can say mapped tongue or coated tongue. We are going into that. Yes, tongue is mapped. Another remedies are arsenic, rustox and taraxacum. Loss of taste is there. There is feeling as if hair was present on tongue. Eruptions are present like vesicles, like pearls on lips. Next is there is unquenchable thirst. This also we have discussed. Sweat while eating. Even Ignatia has this symptom. So Ignatia, Natrum, and sepia. These are complementary drugs, can be given one by one if the constitution fits. So natriureticum patient once in a lifetime will need sepia. So it is like that. Rectum, burning pains and stitching after stool. There is constipation, stools are dry. Painless diarrhea, if diarrhea symptoms are present, but usually we don't give in acute complaints. As I said, it is a chronic remedy and polyresistant constitutional remedy. Urine, difficult to pass if others are present due to embarrassment. Involuntary passage when walking and coughing. For female complaints, it can be given menses irregular, usually profuse, leukorrhea, acrid, watery. There is bearing down pains like sepia, prolapse uteri with cutting in urethra. Respiratory symptoms, cough from tickling in the pit of the stomach, accompanied by stitches in liver and spurting of urine, that is leakage of urine, stitches all over the chest. Bursting pain is there, and there is shortness of breath is present in respiratory complaints of natrium. Natrium is usually given for hair fall, like alopecia. Hair falls out immediately. It can be seen in puberty or after delivery of the baby, that is postpartum. And hair fall usually seen in forehead part. So that is very characteristic of natrium. So frontal loss of hair is most important. Then comes tachycardia, that is palpitation. Palpitation can be because of depression, it can be because of heart complaints. There is a sensation of a fluttering which shakes whole body and aggravated on left side lying down. So she has to sleep on right side mostly, and it is also seen in the drug called phosphorus. Extremities, she has this desire for some firm support also while standing, mainly while standing, like rus and sepia. Palms are hot and perspiring. Even sepia has these symptoms, but sepia has cold perspiration, and there is numbness and tingling of the lower extremities if she sits down. It is also seen in sepia. Coldness of legs with congestion to head, chest and stomach. So these are a little bit of extremity symptoms. Dreams of robbers is one of the characteristic symptom, and sleepless from grief. Insomnia is another clinical where you can think of natrium, where there is causation of grief, depression, disappointment in love. So in natrium, everything is about depression, grief, grudge, or psychological cause, that is ailments from, which is very much important. Skin, as we have discussed earlier, greasy, oily, especially on hair parts. Dry eruptions, especially on the margin of hairy scalp and bends of joint. Urticaria, it is a very good remedy for urticaria. Itching is there, burning is there. Crusty eruptions in bends of limbs. Eczema, it can be given for ringworm. Worse, eating salt. Yes, she desires for salt, but it is worse because of that. This symptom is very much important. As we can see in pulsatilla, she desires for bread and pastries, but it aggravates ultimately. So we can compare like this. So natrium has craving for salt, but skin complaints usually get aggravated by it. And even pulsatilla, she desires for bread or fatty food, but that gets aggravated. Yeah. Affects hair follicle, alopecia, as we have discussed it again. And here greasy skin is there. Fever, coldness of the body, continued chilliness, very well marked. Weakness, constipation, there is loss of appetite. Sweats on every exertion. Now modalities. Worse by noise music, as she is sensitive to noises. She is very much sensitive like Nux vomica. So she is worse by noise. Mostly headache is worse by noise and music and warm room. Lying down about 10 a.m. and at seashore, mental exertion and consolation. Aggravation by consolation. Better in open air, cold bathing, pressure against back, tight clothing. Tight clothing in the sense headache is better by tight bandage like silicea, like argentum nitricum, and palpitations are better by lying on right side. So you have to compare it with some of the particulars too, and it is complementary to sepia and ignatia and complementary to apis also, apis mellifica. Ml Tyler also some or the others suggest like save, reserved, beautiful, craves salt, silent sufferer. Silent sufferer is keynote. Headache, hammer like, aggravation, sunrise to sunset. Now we'll go to Nash. Nash also says most of the things similar like Boric. Depressed, weeping, consolation aggravates, great emaciation while living well, anemia with bursting headache, schoolgirl's headache, we can say. There is great dryness of membrane, all the mucous membrane, that's why there is constipation, there is cracked over the lips, dryness is present, heart palpitation aggravated lying on left side. 10 to 11 mostly aggravation of many complaints, lying down aggravation, tongue mapped, bad effects after anger, nitrate of silver or craving of salt. Yes, hangnails. This is a clinical condition where we can think of natriumur. Warts on palms of hands, sore to touch. And there are some cases which are given in NASH. We'll directly go into our keynotes. Lips affected, corners of mouth are dry, ulcerated. We can think of graphitis and condurango over here. Then comes Natrum patient after eating feels dull, drowsy, feels sense of fullness and discomfort in the region of stomach and liver, which is seen in China. Constipation because of dryness and inactivity of rectum. Then comes female complaints. I am showing you important things from NASH. So it is mostly whatever mentioned in Boric, it is mostly the same. Natrums are often accompanied by back pains which are relieved by lying upon back like rus and sepia. So how will you differentiate natrum uraticum and sepia? Sepia can cry while telling symptoms, and sepia also has this axillary offensive sweat, whereas natrum cannot cry in front of others, and sepia we'll see in sepia more in detail. We'll discuss today natrum only. Fluttering of heart is there, aggravation 10 to 11 am. Natrum patient also has numbness and tingling in toes, and there is painful tension in bends of the limbs. Physical and mental labor both are equally causing prostration, that is weakness. So yes, this is Natrum uraticum which we have seen today, and main keynotes are, once again I'll elaborate it in short in just 1 or 2 minutes. Reserved, beautiful, sensitive, mentally also sensitive to noise. She is beauty with brains like phosphorus. The patient is usually in top list, that is toppers. Career selected nursing or NGO worker or counselor and so on. She is a silent sufferer. She has craving for salt, given for clinicals such as hangnails, ringworm, eczema, alopecia, migraine, digestive disturbances, hyper and hypothyroidism. One more keynote is living well, still losing flesh. So there is weakness present in every complaint. Also, the patient has, dignity kind of personality. She has aversion to consolation. She is very particular in every work. She is sincere. She will not tolerate disrespect. There is one rubric called abrupt. There are only two remedies in that, Natrum and Tarantula hispanica. So अगर उसको कोई बात बुरी लगे वो मुंह पे बोल देगी. So that kind of personality is Natrum. Very much specific and to the point, unlike Pulsatilla. Pulsatilla is very loquacious. Yes. Look wise, long hairs, thin, beautiful, fish like eyes, face is little bit swollen, upper lips are a little bit full, short fleshy nose, and perfect face, perfect combination. So this is Natrum. Do comment in comment section if you have any doubts or any other drugs you want to compare it with. We will discuss it. Thank you. Bye bye.